You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Shari Einhorn. Iran has launched a counterattack on Israel. Smoke can be seen coming out of buildings in Tel Aviv following missile strikes. This comes after Israel targeted Iran's nuclear program and killed several top military leaders. Here on Long Island, local police are stepping up patrols. Suffolk police say they will be conducting checks at all Jewish and Muslim institutions. Nassau police are monitoring any potential threats. Officials say there are no local threats at this point. Hundreds of No Kings rallies are planned for tomorrow across the country, with a dozen right here on Long Island. The rallies will protest the Trump administration's immigration raids and deportations. It also comes on the same day as a planned military parade requested by the president to honor the U.S. Army's birthday. It also happens to be on the president's birthday. In just a moment, local officials explain how they are prepping for the demonstrations. Only in Newsday, workers and patients claim they were illegally recorded in a bathroom at a sleep clinic. Court papers say administrators at Northwell Health's Manhasset Clinic were negligent for failing to stop the recordings. A former clinic employee pleaded not guilty to unlawful surveillance charges back in April. Northwell says it told authorities and suspended the employee when they learned about the allegations. The Wyandanch School District has announced its new mascot. The superintendent says the district has chosen wolves to replace their Warriors name. This follows the statewide ban on Native American mascots and imagery in schools. Now, the Massapequa district is still fighting in federal court to keep its Chiefs mascot. Now let's take a quick look at tomorrow's weather. We've got another rainy start to the weekend. The rain is sticking around until the afternoon. We'll take a closer look at your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. The Israel-Iran conflict could cause worldwide economic turmoil. Newsday business reporter Brianne Letta breaks down what this could mean for Long Islanders.
So on Long Island, we might not be directly impacted, but increased costs for oil could mean higher prices at the pump, higher home energy bills. There also could be increased travel expenses and more cautious consumer spending.
Communities across the island are preparing for No Kings protests planned for tomorrow. People are taking to the streets nationwide to protest President Trump's policies. Andrew Anger has the story you'll see only in Newsday.
Elzon Lima says this was no ordinary traffic stop.
And
what's this for?
What's that?
What's this for?
Because you look like somebody local.
On June 3rd in Westbury, the van the 23-year-old electrician was riding in was pulled over by officers from Homeland Security. Lima says he refused to give his ID since he didn't break any laws and is a U.S. citizen.
What are you doing?
But still, he was handcuffed and briefly detained by an officer who refused to identify himself.
I felt like my rights were just out the window.
Limas' story and others like it are a big reason why organizers of the No Kings Day protests say nearly 2,000 demonstrations will be held across the country Saturday. A dozen of them will be on Long Island.
We have well past our red line moving towards authoritarianism, and that's why we were seeing the country rising up.
Emily Kaufman is helping plan the No Kings Day protest that will march to the Nassau County Legislature building in Mineola. She says the Trump administration is chipping away at civil rights and the Constitution.
People are terrified, and we're not going to let it stand here on Long Island.
Nassau County officials say they expect to deploy extra police resources and technology at Saturday's demonstrations to keep protesters safe. And right now, they're not expecting any issues.
People are entitled to exercise their right to free speech, and so long as they follow the rules, there'll be no issues.
In Suffolk County, police officials say they'll be ready for large demonstrations as well.
We will have our officers out there enforcing all laws, and we'll be ready for the protests.
Haley Brenner Perlis from Show Up Long Island hopes all the demonstrations on Long Island will send a message to Washington.
People of morality want to be able to say I was on the right side of history, and I wasn't just sitting back watching things unfold. I was being part of the solution to fix it.
Andrew Enger, Newsday TV.
Only in Newsday, a casino has been approved for the Nassau Coliseum site bus, but Las Vegas Sands no longer wants to build one. Newsday's Candice Ferretti explains what's next.
It's a county-owned property, so they have an obligation to the county to figure out with them how to best proceed forward, but the project is dead. Bruce Blakeman has said that they would pivot to Plan B, but as of now, we don't have any details on what Plan B might be. What we've seen is that developers have projects, but they weren't able to get the environmental studies done, or they weren't able to get the rezoning from the town of Hempstead. Now we have this Nevada-based company that no longer wants to build a project that has finally gained all of these approvals for a project, but there just isn't a project.
You could read the full article on Newsday.com tomorrow morning beginning at 5 a.m. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Only in Newsday, Tony's Tacos is expanding here on Long Island. The so-called Italian Cantina already has locations in Huntington, Franklin Square, and Garden City. The menu combines Italian classics with Mexican tacos. The new spots will be in Elmhurst, Holbrook, and Valley Stream.
Feed Me is brought to you by Sarant Cadillac.
Do you know what pastrami is?
A lunch meat.
Okay, can you tell me any more than that?
No. I have no idea.
When I first told people that I was working on a pastrami story, here's the comment I got most often. What is pastrami?
What meat is it?
Oh, ham, pork, I don't know, beef.
I have no idea.
It's a very well-seasoned corned beef. It's taken to the next level.
Hey, that's pretty close.
Not only do people have a lot of questions about what is pastrami, I wasn't 100% sure of what pastrami was. I want you to explain to me what is pastrami. And you've got some pastrami in there, right?
Sure. So one of the best ways to talk about pastrami, I guess, is also to show it to you.
To define pastrami, it's helpful to contrast it with corned beef. Corned beef is made from a beef brisket that has been brined, soaked in a solution of salt and seasonings, and then boiled until it's tender. Pastrami is made from the beef navel, located in the plate just behind the brisket, that has also been brined, but then pastrami is rubbed with spices and smoked until it is tender. Deli guys are extremely secretive about what seasonings they use in their pastrami.
Can you tell me any more spices that are in it?
Peppercorn, but
Peppercorn.
I really don't want to get into our own personal, this is like 4 generations of knowledge.
There's no deli on Long Island that makes its pastrami on the premises.
We have somebody make it for us with our guidelines. A lot of delis, kosher delis, use Hebrew National pastrami, which is fine. I don't think it's the number one. I like ours better.
You can see the light shining through the fat on this slice of pastrami. And that's what makes pastrami pastrami. If you don't want fat, don't order pastrami.
For Newsday TV, I'm Erica Marcus.
Maybe it's time to eat this bad boy.
Sarah Sounds Off is brought to you by Roll Up Awnings.
In this week's Sarah Sounds Off, legendary Massapequa baseball coach Tom Sheedy talks about why his teams are perennial powerhouses.
We really gear the regular season to find out where everybody fits right, where everybody accepts their role. That's an important part of our culture, accepting the role. And program team always comes first. The individual does not.
Episode with Newsday High School sports editor Greg Sarah, streaming now on Newsday.com. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Now let's take a closer look at your 7-day forecast. The sun is coming out on Sunday for Father's Day. Yay! Later in the week, we'll get into the 80s with a chance of thunderstorms.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
You're watching Newsday TV. For more on all of the stories you've seen here, head over to Newsday.com. Click Get More under the Newsday TV video box. I'm Shari Einhorn. Thanks for joining us.